Alright/x/, I'm gonna tell you the story of the Shambling man. This happened last summer, but I put off telling the story because I was always too lazy to actually type it up. It's Halloween and I'm waiting on my laundry as I write this, so I have nothing better to do. I'll start posting once it's all written up. I wanna hear some opinions on this thing, because I still have no idea what the fuck to think. No idea what the creature could be, no real idea as to whether it's even dangerous, nothing. A little background knowledge, I changed schools after my freshman year in high school, but I still spent a lot of time with my friends from my first high school. I'm in my first year of college now, and I still talk to these guys almost daily. They live about 30 minutes away from my parents' house, which is in a Minnesotan suburb about 20 minutes outside of the Twin Cities. Fairly populous. The town my friends live in is about 50 minutes away, and is a mix of suburbs and farmland. Much smaller population. Be me. June of last summer. Heading home from hanging out with friends from high school. Decide to take the back roads instead of the freeway. Back roads from friend's house to mine are pretty scenic, mostly cutting through fields and prairies with the occasional wooded section. Also passes a lot of farms. About 10 minutes down the road after passing a few farms is the stinky little sub 1,000 population town complete with a dirt road and everything. Rolling up towards an intersection there when I see something massive in the road. This big, pale, humanoid figure is basically Army crawling across the road in front of my car. Looks up at me. This thing looks like it has the frame of an anorexic NBA player with skin that sagged like it recently had a major liposuction procedure that took it from 300 pounds to 120. Start braking when another car comes over the hill towards me. Has those bright ass white headlights, very clearly has their brights on. Instinctively look up at it for a second to make sure I'm not gonna hit it and then look back down at the thing in the road. It's fucking gone. The scariest thing about the creature wasn't its appearance, but the way it moved. Its arms move like the metal thing on the outside of steam engines that drives the wheels, pig related. That was the first sighting. I convinced myself for a while that it was just a trick of the light with some fog or whatever. That was before the second encounter. 2 months pass. Now mid-August. By this point, the creature had sort of become a thing of legend among our friend group. Friends came up with the name the Shambling Man, even though it was kinda just crawling, not shambling. Regardless, I had to admit the name was kind of catchy. The name ended up sticking. We sometimes refer to it as Chandler the Shambler or just Chandler for short. Anyway, end up going to the Mall of America for the day to hang out with friend and his girlfriend. His girlfriend lives with him and his family for reasons that it wouldn't be polite to go into. Decide midway through the trip to spend the night at aforementioned friend's house. We drove to the mall separately because it was sort of a last-minute plan. Drive to my house to grab clothes and stuff. Drive to friend's house along the same back roads as before. As I pass the place where I first saw the Shambler, this horrible feeling overtakes me. Eyes actually tear up a bit, feel kind of sick to my stomach. None of this compared to the feeling of utter dread that hit me like a fucking bat, though. Nearly hyperventilate before I'm able to get a grip. Normally, I'm a pretty composed person. I don't get scared very easily, and at this point I had driven on this road like 20 times since the encounter. Basically, this wasn't some ordinary fear that you get when you do something scary. This wasn't some fucking roller coaster style stomach sickness. This was out of nowhere. This was survival instinct fear, and I was terrified. Finally, the feeling passes. Keep driving down the road, trying not to go flying into the ditch as I wipe tears out of my eyes. I'm a little confused, and very surprised. I never break down like this. About 5 minutes away from friend's house, look back and forth between my driver's side window and the windshield. Watch the trees and brush slowly move by to calm my nerves a bit. That's when I see it. The fucking Shambling Man is standing next to a tree on the side of the road. Just standing there. Staring directly at me. At least, I think it is. I can't really see its eyes, but its head is pointed right at me. My heart drops and I speed up so I can get to friend's house. His sister lets me in. Friend and his girlfriend haven't gotten there yet. Bring my stuff to the basement. Call friend. Where are you? They're out hitting Pokestops at a park nearby. Sort of just shake my head as he's talking and interrupt. I saw it again. He's confused. I saw the shambling man again. Brief pause. I'll be right there. He gets back, grabs 2 combat knives for him and myself. Let's go fucking find this thing. Exploring the area is a whole nother story, but we didn't actually find the thing. I had my friend stand in the exact spot I saw the creature in, though. From what I could tell, the thing was several inches taller than my friend. My friend is 6 feet 7 inches. While we didn't find the Shambler, we did find this weird ghetto shelter lean-to and a really eerie, foggy clearing that we thought was a pond at first before we noticed a mound in the middle with a single, solitary tree on top. The most notable thing that happened was at the end, though. Friend and myself. Walking along a horse trail parallel to the road with a 10 or 15 foot buffer of brush and trees between the two. Friend's girlfriend is waiting in the car across the street in the entrance of a dog park with a set of simple instructions. Keep the doors locked. Keep the car running. If you see us running, let us in and get us the fuck out. Call if you see anything. So we make our way down this horse trail and we see the car at the end of the path. There's the car. I hope, GF, is doing alright. Keep walking. Suddenly, terror. Stop walking. Friend turns around. What are you doing? That's not our car. What do you mean? GF, is waiting with the car running, remember? Dude, we parked on the other side of the road. We had to cross it to get here. Oh fuck. See a guy walk through the light from the car to the side closest to us. Can barely hear him talking to someone else. They haven't seen us yet. Whisper to friend. I'm gonna count to 4. When I get to 4, book it to the middle of the brush where we came in and duck down. 1. The men get closer. 2. I can hear their voices still, but they've begun to talk more quietly. 3. Pause. Heart is fucking hammering. 4. We sprint into the brush and drop. We breathe quietly for what feels like 20 minutes, but was probably more like 20 seconds. Finally, I lift my head a bit to look around. I point towards the road. Friend nods. We sprint across the street to his car like a fucking bear is hot on our heels. Peel out of the dog park. Other car pulls onto the road and starts following us. We get to a stoplight and I turn around. Car is gone. What the fuck? Make it back safely. We plan on going back to look around again come Thanksgiving break, but that's what I've got for now.
What area of MN you from? The area you describe sounds like where some friends of mine used to live. This seems spooky and I might investigate myself DSO.
The town my parents live in is Plymouth. Friends are from St. Michael Albertville area.
No shit, my family is from the same as yours. I live in the cities, but I used to date a girl out in Watertown, so a bit south of your friends. And while visiting her family out there I felt a lot of strange energy. I'd go for long drives at night and I never saw a creature like this, but I've read a lot about them. Since you think you saw one in MN though, that just solidifies my theories even further that they do indeed exist. Not really worried about running into one in the cities, but I just might have to do some investigating next time I go out towards my family. Stay safe, Anon. You'll want more than a knife. Any other available info you could possibly share on the area / things you've seen / experienced, or what kind of creature you suspect this to be. I'm from Mankato, and I wouldn't mind going up to do some investigating myself when I can get off work. I've never seen anything like that, but I don't drive out into rural areas too often.
No shit. I'm actually going to school here in Mankato. I can probably pinpoint the 2 locations I saw the thing at on Google Maps or something and post them here if you want, but this is the only weird thing I've heard of from that area. As for what sort of creature I think it is, I really couldn't say. It moved when I wasn't looking at it, but I only looked away for a split second. However, I don't really think it was a wendigo or anything like that. This is roughly where I saw it the first time. It was early June, around 10:30 p.m. This is where I saw it the second time, late August around 11:15 or 11:30.
Hey, small world, isn't it? I'll have get up to that area sometime and see what I can see. You said a feeling of dread hit you the second time but not the first time? Maybe only when you're the target of its attention? Suppose that could help give an idea of when you're in the right spot. Hope you aren't too emotionally attached to the thing because I'm definitely bringing a rifle or 3.
Small world, indeed. Definitely not attached to the thing, but I would be cautious with firearms. It's public land, I believe, and it's right off a relatively busy road. That was the part I thought was the strangest thing about it. Territorial road isn't some small backcountry road, it's actually pretty busy. Half of the reason my friend and I hid in the brush when we were sneaking away from the 2 guys was because we didn't want anyone in their cars to see us. I'm also realizing I left out a very important detail. When we got back to the car, his girlfriend asked him why he didn't answer any of her calls. This was weird, because I know for a fact he didn't receive any calls. We had our phones out the whole time so we could use them for light. Not sure if it's related in any way, but it was definitely very weird. So yeah, not really attached to the Shambling or beyond thinking it's really fucking creepy, and that it's an interesting story to tell to people that won't think I'm out of my mind.